Hello, this is Jcamera here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Batman Arkham Asylum action figure from DC Direct, or as they're known now, DC Collectibles, Series 2 Armored Edition Batman. So this is the Batman that released for the Series 2 wave of action figures. The Series 1 for Batman Arkham Asylum was this one here, which I've already taken a look at. I have thought about remaking the video because of how I filmed it, but I think it's still good. It was an experiment, so I'll keep it. The video, obviously the figure I'm keeping. No way in hell I'm releasing that again. No, sorry, buying that again. Maybe I'll fix up the accessories or find a way to buy duplicates of them, but I don't know. Anyway, here is the box. I love the Batman cowl because it's Batman. It's like they're inside his head. That's what I get out of it. You get the DC logo. Yeah, this is DC Collectibles. So this would have been like a re-release. And that would explain this packaging that I've been getting with 3 of the 5 figures that you see on the back here with Armored Batman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy. And Harley Quinn was the one I just done. In fact, by the time I'm filming this should have uploaded. Anyway, we get the Arkham Asylum type packaging with like the moon, the clouds, the blue, black and white color scheme, like the city in the far background while Batman is standing on an island, which is cool. And you get the big logo with like sort of fire or like orange color around the gray, which is cool. And you get the warning, drinking hazard, and ages 14 and up. On the back, you have the barcode and the DC Comics logo and other warnings. This is the final figure I have to review out of these 5 here. I've already reviewed Joker, Scarecrow, and Poison Ivy. Harley Quinn I only just did. And then we of course got Batman Armored. And then we have the description. Let's read.
It's a madhouse, and the lunatics are running the asylum. After arriving on Arkham Island, Batman is greeted by Warden Sharp and security personnel. Although the Joker is securely strapped to a handcart for transfer to the deepest bowels of Arkham, he escapes nevertheless. Or nonetheless. This is going to be the worst night on Batman's life. With the Joker free, inciting unrest among the inmates, Batman faces a riot from a cagia of Gotham City's most wanted, killers and psychopaths who are screaming for vengeance and out for blood. Batman's blood. His mission? Stop the Joker and his accomplices at all costs. Welcome to the asylum. Arkham Asylum.
And there's the description of the figure, and all the description that all the Arkham Asylum figures, of course, had. And now we shall do the unboxing and do the figure review. So now that I've opened the shell, we can open it up, and you get the back cowl loose like that. And of course, I forgot to mention this with the other ones. I definitely missed it with Harley Quinn one at least. You get the Batman logo here. That's on the inside. And then we can take this pamphlet on out. And of course, shows the back of it and the front of it, like as you can see here. And then when you open it up, on the inside we have Arkham City statues, which I have no interest in getting, so please don't ask for me to do videos on that. Then we get the Series 4 Arkham City action figures. I would have liked it if it was like Series 2 or like even like Series 1 or something. I don't know, that might be a me thing, but there it is. That's the packaging. And then we have the action figure. You can see like twisty ties and everything, and there's no tape around the gadget, so you can just pop it out like so. And we got the 3 twisty ties, 2 for the legs, 1 for the big torso. We can remove that. And now we have the figure unpackaged. First up is the accessories. And when researching for all the Arkham figures, I realized that each one has an exclusive gadget each. So this Batman here, the first one included the Batarang, like if I can just get that out. It's an all-black Batarang for this Batman, and then this one has the bat claw or the grapnel gun, but it functions the same way, same thing. And this is like in a dark blue, so you can sort of tell that. But I'm glad these were the first two picked out because they're the two most important Batman gadgets, and like they're probably the two that every incarnation has. Maybe a different variation on like the Adam West version with the rope. But like same idea, like they all have at minimum one Batarang and that. Is it not just with like incarnations, but with the action figure lineups, which is nice. They're like the two most iconic gadgets, so it's nice that we get them with the Arkham Asylum figures. And then Arkham City would expand with the cryptographic sequencer, the explosive gel, the Wreck Gun, and the Sonic Batarang, and then Arkham Knight gave us the line launcher and stuff with the action figures. Whether or not I'm going to review those, I am not sure, but regardless, we get these ones. I think I've reviewed, like, the Origins one at least, and then the Harley Quinn pack. I might sell those ones one day, but these two Batman at the very least, I am 100% keeping. So yeah, this Batman's movements are pretty much the same as this one, where you have the head sort of on a ball joint, you have the legs that can move, you have the knees, of course this applies to both sides, you have the shoulders, you have elbows, and did I say head? I think I did. Yeah, in terms of articulation, it's pretty much the same as this. So if you have one or the other, articulation, it's exactly the same. They just have different gadgets and different designs for Batman. As for this, I'm not really a fan of how they did the cape. I get you need to differentiate between these two Batmen, but I think the gadgets and just the overall design is different enough that you didn't need to change the cape. Like, you could keep the same cape and it would be better for displaying, in my opinion. Like, you already have this shiny armor on him and, like, different details. And, like, this thing at the back of his neck that I wouldn't mind. It looks accurate to the Armored Edition, though. Like, the paint job is mostly well done. I have one big flaw with it, but I'll get to that later. And by later, I mean, like, seconds or, like, moments later, whatever. And it looks accurate to the game. This is the Armored Edition Batman, which you saw in, like, when you beat the game, Arkham Asylum, when you beat the story, you have, like, challenge maps, and you have the choice between the Batman that you play throughout the whole game, as well as this variant. This one, you can maybe even say, replaces the Arkham Knight suit if you don't want to have that, and maybe make it a little closer to this one art style-wise, or just if you want to get them in order and justify this one. And then all you need for the Arkham Knight one is maybe try to get the line launcher loose. I don't know if anybody on eBay sells the accessories loose or not. I have been trying to find anywhere that does it, but I haven't found any. One problem, though, is a bit of the paintwork. Two problems. The first one, I don't really like the chipping on the top of the ears, if my camera can focus. Like, that is not very good. I don't know if it's the packaging, me getting it out did something, but that's not too good. And also the nose is kinda bad. Like, there's a chip on it, and like, the other figure wasn't really this bad with it, if you notice. So yeah, mine's a bit dusty on that one, but even still, it's better than this. And to be honest, I will say, though, one thing this improves upon the original version is the face. Like, it isn't as dirty looking. Yeah, this Batman just fell on me because I dared to move curtains. Yeah, I have these figures, of course, because I did the Harley Quinn when I was trying to match them to scale. And when you compare heights of these Batmans, maybe it's because of how the legs are together, but this Batman is actually the biggest so far. I don't have Bane or Killer Croc yet in my collection, but so far he's the biggest, probably because of how the legs are, but still, like, if you compare him towards the rest, like, it's clear he's significantly bigger than everyone else. If I can stand him up properly, Like, he's bigger than all of them. Like, Batman comes close, but because the legs are more together, which is another thing this figure improves upon, which is nice. If the other problem is, I think he's too blue. Like, I mean, you could make an argument in the game he looks a bit blue, but it's like a navy blue. When you see, like, in the back, it's clearly a bright blue, which I don't like. I think this one manages to make it look like it's just from the light shining in certain areas. Like, they did a good job, good enough to make it look like it was sort of a black with a hint of blue, or like blue, like a navy blue bordering on black. This one, I think they do successfully with the cowl. Like, they did a good job with the cowl, but it's mostly the underwear. Like, the boots do a good enough job, and I guess passable on the gloves, but you could have done a better job with the gloves. But the underwear is where they fail. Where that part is shit. No pun intended. So I've tried to see what it looks like with the Batarang, and like, if you find the right spot with this edge here, you can somewhat have him hold it, but it's loosey-goosey, and good luck getting him to actually hold it standing up. Yeah, you have it holding his grapple gun accessory, and then you have like a clenched fist on the other, ready to punch some goons, or thugs, or henchmen. Because goons has a new word meaning today, but anyway, you can fit this in pretty nicely. It's still a bit loose, but it feels like it was designed for this gadget. So if you look here, like, it looks pretty good on him. Like, he's about to grapple up into a higher elevation, which is nice. And this Batman, you can have him hold the grapple, like, you can do it. In fact, it actually holds it better than this one holds the Batarang. So, between these two Batmans, I think this one is actually superior. Like, this one's not bad, I appreciate it, but if you have to pick one of these two Batmans, I think Series 1 Batman is the better one to go with. But I still recommend getting this one, mostly if only because of the grapple gun, and this Batman kind of felt incomplete to me, just including the Batarang and nothing else. Well, that and a stand, if you want to count that. So it's nice that this one at least has something new to offer up other than a cool-looking suit. It actually has a new gadget, so you have a reason to collect it. I don't know if I prefer more if this Batman has, like, several gadgets or just one. Because on the other hand, it gives you reason to collect others, but at the same time, it's like, I'd rather get something one and done. And what's funny to me is that you actually can stretch these out somewhat for the legs, but even if you do that, this Batman still looks to be a little bit taller to me, which is funny. Maybe the boots gave him extra height, I doubt it, but I do wish that they still sort of took this mold and then maybe, like, basically gave it a repaint, or, like, maybe some slight remolding here and there, but they should have been a bit more considerate of these figures, like, comparing to them. Like, they should have known that I was going to compare the two of them, but anyway, that's Batman, and I know there's another Arkham Asylum Batman figure out there with the barrel-damaged Batman, but I'm actually not getting it because there's no new gadgets or accessories with that. And it's just this Batman, but the cape has some holes in it, and there's a few scratches on the torso. Maybe a little bit more, but that's it. You only really need one Batman, in my opinion. Well, two, if we're going by accessories, but I think that's enough Batman, in my opinion. At least for Asylum. With the Arkham series, maybe you could get more, though. The Arkham City suit is pretty much the same as this one, except maybe a little darker on the colors and a slightly more cleaned up face, but other than the gadgets, that's it. And an Arkham Knight, it's still like an armored up version of this suit, and that's it. In fact, something I didn't even point out is that I like that there's like black underneath the suit, and then there's like the grey or silver shiny bits that act as armor. Like, Arkham Knight kinda took that idea and ran with it. Except that suit didn't have any blue with it, but it at least looks like an upgraded version of this suit, which I appreciate, and I like that it's like more detailed with the cowl, the neck, and the gauntlets and such. So I can accept it. And also, here's the obligational base that he comes with. Mine didn't come with it, which I am quite angry about, but what am I going to do about it? And of course, he has a peg hole for it that you can just put onto his foot like so. If I can get it on there. I will say it does look cool when posing. Like, the base surprisingly adds a lot. Even more so than really any of the others. Like, this one works the best as a statue. Maybe that's one of the mindsets they had when going into this figure. Who knows? But he does surprisingly look good on display. And he does kind of need it if you want to stand him up more than any of these other figures. I mean, the hunched over goblins with Zaz and Scarecrow over here also need it. But yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say with this one. I don't know when the next Arkham video is going to be. It was good to go back to these with a couple of these videos, but I don't know when the next one will be. I'm hoping for the next one to be the Series 2 Bane action figure. The one with like the green, the crouched legs, and the angry face that came in the double-sized box. Not the Bane with like the lack of green mid face that's standing up straight that came with Batman in that 2-pack, but yeah, that one. Not that one, but the green one that I said first, the former. If I don't get that version of Bane, then maybe Killer Croc will be next. Who knows? But I am hoping to get the Arkham Asylum figures done before I do any other Arkham action figure reviews. And other than Asylum, I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing with them altogether. I might sell them off, I'm not sure, who knows. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all later.